Long story short, this is my dad's 2008 Pontiac G6. He's been having it sitting for a while now. Right now, he just hasn't had the time, given that he has a couple of personal stuff going on. So what we're just gonna do is basic maintenance, oil change, check the spark plugs, possibly the car's going through some misfires. Now, for the oil change, given that I've seen that it's the star of the game, I wanted to give this guy a try. Valvoline, Restore and Protect. Now, I'm not sponsored by Valvoline, so whatever comes out from this video and any outcome or results will be purely unbiased and just out of first impressions, at least personal first impressions. I've looked into it, I've seen other people review it, you know, giving it a test drive with their cars. I want to give this guy a try. You know, I heard that apparently through 3-4 oil changes, maybe by the 5th is a sweet spot for actually seeing results. After maybe 3,000 miles, I'll probably do a follow-up review with this oil. Let's get to it. So of course, you want to get your tools ready. So what I like to do is pull my Capri socket set. And then if we go over here to the cart, we're just gonna grab our Capri 3/8 extended ratchet. And honestly, for an oil change, you really need. All right, get your oil pan, brake clean, ton of towels in case shit hits the fan, and your funnel to put the oil on top. There you go. Boom. And just let that sucker empty out. Right? Oil's pretty much drained up. Can always end up using your drain plug. I mean, some people like to replace it. This one seems pretty good. So what we can do is just put it back on. Now, I know there's still some oil probably left to drain, but it's fine because either way with the Restore and Protect, it's gonna do its job and clean off that smudge. So by the next couple of oil changes, that oil should be a little bit lighter. Grab your blade cleaner, so that way you spray the area, clean it up in case you do have any leaks. You know where it's coming from. And then you want to screw in your drain plug by hand and then tighten it down with your ratchet. You don't want to overly tighten it, just make sure that it's snug. You could torque it down, but I trust my strength and judgment. All right, now you have your oil drained. Bring it over here, right underneath the oil filter. I can. And boom. Set this guy down. Oops, that's a lot of oil. Filter. Make sure it matches. Grab a little bit of the oil. Always want to lubricate the little rubber seal over here. Put it back on. Once you snug the oil, snug it by hand. Don't overdo it. Doesn't need to be overly done. That's what the sealant, little gasket rubber thingy, is for. Wipe down the oil filter and then clear out everything to lower the car. Time to put the new oil in. Now that you've cleared everything underneath the car, you can go ahead and lower it. And it's time to put the new oil. All right, go ahead and prep everything to start pouring in the oil. Take off the oil cap or oil cone. Sorry for this, I'm a little too tired. Just cover around here, just so you don't make a mess. Especially that this car has a MAP sensor right here, exposed. You don't want anything dripping on it. So this car takes about 5.8 something quarts. About almost 6 quarts. So just go ahead, slowly, gently put in your new oil. There you go. The last quart. There you go. And you could just leave it there, just so it drips while you work on everything else. There we go. What we're just gonna do is just turn on the car so the oil starts circulating, just making sure that we don't see any leaks or anything underneath the car. Everything good. Filming, leaking. So I think the oil change is successful. Now on to the next. Now that change. Let's take off the valve cover, well, the plastic cover that sits on top of the engine, and expose the spark plugs, pull out the spark plugs, check the gaps, and making sure that everything's running to see if maybe that's what's causing the engine misfire. But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna blow off all these leaves, clean everything so there's no debris falling into the valves where the spark plugs sit. Grab our buddy right here, put it up here, and let's get to blowing. So this is the update. I kind of did this off camera because trash pickup is today and I didn't want the noise to be in the way. But so this is what we did. We removed the air box, removed the air inlet tube that connects to the throttle body. Now, the first 3 spark plugs are right here in the front, which are easily accessible. Oh, my bad, right here. These 3 first spark plugs. Now the only predicament is, for most V6 engines, is that the last 3 are usually, and you know what's sitting on top? This guy. So with that being said, removing the airbox system pretty much, have to remove the throttle body, which I'm in the middle of doing so right here. I removed already the 3 bolts, the little flanged piece that's holding this hose right here, the intake. And so right now we're just gonna get the throttle body removed, start removing all the sensors, all the hoses that are connected to this intake right here, and then pop it off, and hopefully we could expose the last 3 spark plugs sitting on top. So I already got screws right here removed, and in the middle of unscrewing this one. All right, got the bolt out. Make sure also, since you have everything uncovered, because I was gonna show you guys on camera to clean the throttle body, but given the opportunity that I have to remove the throttle body assembly anyway, so I'll show you in my desk how I'm gonna clean this thoroughly without damaging the butterfly flap. So take off the bolt, and then let's take off the throttle body. Move the throttle body assembly, put the screw on a magnetic plate if you have one available, and this is the, oh my god, look at this. No, wait, no, sorry. This is the old throttle. Oh, this is the throttle body, not the old. Not like I'm gonna replace it, but we could fix it. I could probably clean all this up, and I could probably have the scan tool reprogram the throttle body. So we're gonna do our best to preserve this guy. So right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start disconnecting every sensor possible so we don't damage it in the process. And I can't get. I'm gonna disconnect the sensors off camera so you don't see me struggling, and then. Okay, we disconnected all the sensors, all the bolts and hootenannies or whatever, and so now it's just taking out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 ones up there. Take off the cover, and now finally expose the spark plugs. See if this comes off, and it does. Nice. Boom, 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 just like that. Now, I want you guys to take a quick look at what I'm seeing right here. So, all of that is nothing but heavy, heavy sludge and dirty oil down the valves. So, what we're gonna do is do a couple oil changes, as I mentioned, and see what Valvoline's Restore and Protect will do for this car. And if hopefully by, let's say, maybe the 3rd one, hopefully we may see some difference. Like I said, I'll probably upload a follow-up video on how this actually works. I've seen people use it. I've seen people say good things about it. Like I said, I'm not endorsed or sponsored, so my opinions is purely unbiased. But with the state of this car, I think we could give it a shot. All right, so again, a little bit more off-camera stuff, but here's the first spark plug. Right now, for this car, it is a .44 gap, and so here, if we have the gap tool and the spark plug, and so if you see here, that is way more than the requirement. So yeah, see, and I'm barely like moving it. So what we're gonna do is close the gap. Now, my method may be a little orthodox, but just a little like that. Nothing too crazy. Don't even beat the crap out of the spark plug either, but you know, just a little few taps, and still a little open. So let's give it a couple more love taps. Ooh, that should do it. I close it, I think a little too much, but don't worry, we got the gap tool here. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and, whoa, that is way too closed. Oops, my bad. Let me make amends to my conflict. Right, amended, fixed it, and at the size it needed. So first spark plug, good to go. Now we're just gonna go ahead and put it back. Actually, let's do it by hand. The last time I did this, I got clowned on, so let's not do that. And then go crazy. Boom, and done. And then you do that for boom, 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 for many spark plugs. Don't gotta show you each spark plug. Pretty straightforward, so skip. All right, valve intake manifold is on. Starting to connect all the hoses, the sensors, so work our way back from where we started. And at least my goal is to put the throttle body assembly on and then start the car, see where we're at. So I don't want to connect everything and bolt everything down too much. I just want to make sure that everything is, you know, good before we continue on. Okay. Now let's install the throttle body. Making sure that you want to align your gasket with your throttle body assembly. What I like to do is to put in a screw first, just, you know, kind of start it off, so that way it aligns with the gasket. So when you're putting here, it's easier. That way the throttle body holds while you grab another screw and you go ahead and start that one as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and put all 4 screws at once. That way it's on there, aligned. Put the last one there and just start screwing them down. Just to make sure they're on there snug, I'm gonna hand tie them now. Make sure they're nice and snug, as far as I know, but I'm just gonna do it just to play safe. I'm gonna star cross, or yeah. And I'm gonna start the car, see if it turns on. Let's hope for the best. Just to play it safe, let's put this towel over here so it doesn't suck in too much air, and hopefully we'll see where I fucked up and what else needs to be assembled. All right, that says everything. All right, let me give it one more try. I'm gonna do it off camera. All right, update. I had to, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I had to connect the whole intake system, the PCV valves that go into the, I'll show you guys a picture of the air system itself, but you had to connect everything in order for the car to actually start and run properly, because I almost smoked up the whole garage. Had to put a fan on to just ventilate everything out, but the car runs. Decent. It's still gonna have a check engine light, and it's still gonna mark that it needs for oil to be changed, but I'm gonna, like I said, put in the scanner. I gotta relearn the throttle body and then clear the codes, drive it for a while, see how it comes up. But yeah, got this car up and running and clean. So yeah, I think that'll do for now. So depending on how long this video is after I edit it, I might have to chop it up in 3 parts. So, but unless you're on YouTube, I might leave the whole thing up. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, catch you guys in the next one.